Who doesn't love Alucard? He's one of the best characters in Castlevania with a direct familial link to Dracula. Despite being a vampire, he fights against his urges every day and works with the Belmont clan to take down his father once and for all. And he's the star of Symphony of the Night. And yet, for reasons known only to Konami, he has appeared as a playable character in only 2 3D games. And one of those games is Castlevania Judgment, which is a fighting game. So today I thought we could look at Alucard's only traditional action-adventure 3D appearance. It's a DLC pack for Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, known as Revelations. Yeah, this isn't even the classic version of Alucard, but rather the tweaked version made specifically for the Lords of Shadow universe. Here, Alucard is actually the vampiric form of Trevor Belmont, son of Gabriel Belmont. So, he's still the son of Dracula, but he's also a Belmont. I think that's kinda cool. Some of you might be saying, hang on a minute, Mirror of Fate is technically 3D. No, it has 3D models, but it takes place entirely on a 2D plane, so it's 2.5D basically. If you've seen my previous video on the Lords of Shadow series, you might be wondering why I didn't include this DLC there. Well, I forgot. In Lords of Shadow 2, we play as Dracula as he regains his strength and works to take down Satan for good. But unbeknownst to him, Alucard has been working in the shadows, making sure everything goes to plan. We start here at Dracula's coffin side, centuries after Alucard sent him into an extended slumber with his awesome sword, Crissaegrim. Marie, Alucard's mother, appears, warning her son that Dracula's castle is aware that its master will soon wake, and it's not particularly happy with the current plan of giving him the true ending he desires. Because if Dracula falls, so too does the castle, at least that's how I understand it. I should make it clear here that Marie isn't actually Marie. She's a recreation from Dracula's memories, a clone I guess, as part of the incredible power old Drac inherited when he defeated the Forgotten One and claimed the castle as his own. Yeah, it makes my head hurt too, but it's all here in this codex entry. She's gone, but she's here now because she represents the light inside of Dracula, guiding him towards redemption. Anyway, Marie says that the castle has hidden away 2 vital powers that Dracula will need. The Void and Chaos relics. It's up to Alucard to take them back and restore them to their rightful resting places, where Dracula will be able to acquire them later. It's a simple story, and unfortunately one where Alucard doesn't have many lines of dialogue. I say unfortunately because this version of Alucard is voiced by Richard Madden, and I think he's great. Alucard has always been soft-spoken but determined to do the right thing, and I think his portrayal here lives up to that. So, Alucard asks Marie to take him to the castle and his adventure begins. Right off the bat, we get to see that Alucard has his own unique abilities compared to Dracula's. This is the Bat Swarm, where he can fly to different handholds that are too far to reach normally. I have to say, it feels pretty smooth and it makes you feel like Alucard can go anywhere. He can't though. There are a lot of occasions where you'll scan for handholds and there won't be any. It's a situational thing. Alucard also has the ability to project a spectral wolf, which allows him to cross larger gaps. Now, if you've played Symphony of the Night, you'll know that this, along with the Bat Swarm, are homages to that game, which is cool. What's different about the spectral wolf, however, is that Alucard stays in place while he's projecting. He only moves to where the wolf is when you deactivate it, meaning that while you're controlling it, Alucard's physical body is vulnerable. This makes for some interesting puzzles later on, like this section here where you need to jump with the spectral wolf over pools of dangerous blood. You can't let Alucard fall into the stuff, so you need to jump with the wolf and immediately deactivate it, doing that multiple times in a row. It's pretty cool stuff. The wolf can also phase through thin objects, so it lets Alucard traverse through bars and gates. There's one other ability here, and for some reason I constantly forgot to use it. If Alucard comes across a crumbled pile of rocks or a platform, or anything else that seems useful, he can rewind time so it's functional again. However, the power doesn't last forever, and that factors into a few puzzles that are time-based. That is, of course, until this cutscene where Alucard just casually seals a broken wall without any time limit. Why couldn't he do that before? In combat, Alucard uses Crissaegrim to slice and dice his foes. The castle's sentience isn't very happy with him, of course, so it sends creatures formed from cursed blood to stop him. Combat is pretty much the same as Lords of Shadow 2 though. Alucard has access to Glacium and Igneous abilities which can either heal him with each hit, or do more damage respectively. They also hold the power of ice and fire, so for example, I noticed that Glacium can freeze foes depending on the combo. Igneous can also destroy armor pieces, which is helpful for these big guys here. Alucard looks awesome when he's performing each move, but like the main game, there are so many unblockable attacks that it gets kind of irritating. When enemies attack you normally, you can pull off synchronized blocks, which are effectively parries, but I often found myself just dodging out of the way because the unblockable attacks happen so often, it became muscle memory to do so. I had to remind myself that I could block attacks, especially during the final boss. Maybe I was just rusty. This was, after all, only the second time I've played this DLC, the first time being all the way back in 2014. Like the main game, Revelations does have collectibles you can find to increase Alucard's health, glacium and igneous abilities, as well as lore scrolls that give some extra info about the story and hints for puzzles. There are also pieces of artwork that randomly drop from destructible objects. Thing is, I completed the DLC in 2 hours and I think I found most of the collectibles, so I'd say about 3 hours to find everything. That's a bit short for my liking. It'll probably take more than that to max out your combat skills, but still, the gameplay here is really good overall. Alucard's skills are fun to use and the combat is great once you get used to the sheer number of unblockable attacks, but it's just so short. Once Alucard finishes with the castle, he returns to the real world to confront Zobek's lieutenant, who has sensed Alucard's presence thinking it was Dracula. This is when the final boss battle begins. It's decent, but I did struggle at first. It makes use of all Alucard's abilities, so be prepared to switch them out at different points during the fight. The cutscene leading up to it also makes the whole DLC worthwhile with this one line.
Nice armor.
Oh, he's so cool. I have to say, I did enjoy returning to this DLC, even though the story is quite bare bones. It makes me wish they would develop another 3D Castlevania starring Alucard. But to be honest, at this point, I'd take anything. I'm starving over here, Konami. I've seen some people suggest making a game about the 1999 conflict that ended with Dracula's final defeat, sealing him within an eclipse, and yes, I agree that that would be epic. But Alucard, guys, he's so cool. Anyway, thanks for watching this video and joining me on Alucard's little adventure. If you haven't yet seen my video about the Lords of Shadow trilogy, what are you doing here? Just kidding, but if you do want to watch it, you can click on the thumbnail here. I don't know when I'll make another Castlevania video, but it will probably be after Konami releases another collection. Well, take care everyone, have a great day or night, and I'll see you next time when we'll warp to another one of gaming's fantastical worlds.